Hi guys, welcome back for another one. Today we are going over my 5 wish list improvements for this game for 2021 that I really would like to see on their roadmap. Hopefully in January they do give us a roadmap for the first half of 2021. I did appreciate that when they did it in 2020. So without further ado guys, if you're ready for it, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So at number 5 is changing the requirements to Phoenix to a 5-star unlock. There is no reason anymore for her to be a 6-star unlock legendary. She is approaching 2 years being in this game, so the competitive advantage of players already easily being able to get a Phoenix no longer exists. Most players that have to get Phoenix started after she was introduced in the game. Absolutely zero reason for her to be different than everyone else. Arguably, she's probably not the best or top 2 legendaries in the game. I find Black Bolt and her direct counter Ebony Maul being ranked higher than her on legendary status. And also giving the factor what people were one-shotting Dark Dimension global nodes with, she is not even needed for Dark Dimension anymore. And if you guys don't believe me, go to node 7, go to node 8 of Dark Dimension 3, look who they are one-shotting it with. There is no Phoenix on that list. Absolutely zero reason for her to be a 6-star unlock anymore. Change it, moving on. Keeping with the legendary theme, next up, Nick Fury. Why in the world a legendary that I would tell most new mid-game players, actually I say most, all mid-game and new game players to skip? Nick Fury, why does he still take cream minions? This is outdated. Sure, he's got a boatload of characters you can level up. Invisible Woman's now got more that are soon to be farmable too. Magneto's gonna have a boatload. And you have like 10 for Star-Lord, even though most of them you probably don't even want to touch, but I'm just saying, there are options there. Even Phoenix has got 6, 7 with Dr. Doom, but I don't know how many people are gonna get Dr. Doom before they get Phoenix. I'm thinking it's gonna be a very long time before that scenario is possible. But you have to go the whole way up to Black Bolt and the newest legendaries before you find a character that only requires 5 tunes in the game. And there's no flexibility. And Scopely, I have an easy solution for you. Drop the minion tag and open it up to any Kree. And then it doesn't become wasteful for people to build up to get Nick Fury, Captain Marvel, Minerva, Ronin as a double legendary unlock, and then they could go after maybe an easier minion to get, or build up Karath, or wait till they build up Ultimus and open Ultimus orbs. All better characters than the current minions, and at least you give players the option. Nick Fury is not that great of a legendary anymore for him to be behind a tedious, and I mean tedious, pointless 5 characters to build up to get him. Number 3 wishlist improvement is these ability orbs. How can you guys still look at this and not see that it's complete trash? These are only beneficial to brand new players. They have zero value to any player that's been playing this game probably longer than 100 days. Your center pillar drop is straight up T2s. No one needs T2s. Right pillar, straight up T3s. No one needs T3s. We get tons of them from U6 and U7 raid. And then the left pillar, you want to drop me possibly a green drop instead of a gold drop? No one needs greens. And quite frankly, at this point in the game, I don't know how much of a bottleneck T4 should really be anymore. I mean, you guys are slowly increasing the amount we get, but one of the things that people don't talk about the most is the disadvantage between the high-end players and the low-end players. So guys, I want you to think about how many T4s you get per raid in War Season. Because a team that places first, which is pretty much the same team all the darn time, gets 400. Second place gets 300. Third place gets 250. How many you're getting? Probably 120 or less. And this goes on every week in the game. How many T4s the high-end players are getting constantly over the lower end players? It's a lot. And I see a lot of complaints about how every new game mode disenfranchises the smaller and helps the bigger. This has been in the game for I don't know how long now. There's already been a huge power gap between the large collection powers in this game that keep getting larger and the smaller ones that have to inch their way up. Alright, so take back what I said about War just a little bit. It's not as bad as the raid season here. But at the end of the day, I don't see why T4s need to continue to be a bottleneck in this game. You have plenty of bottlenecks with your orange gear alone, taking a character to 13 to 14 to 15. Each one of those steps is a bottleneck process. Moving on. And the next wishlist improvement that I have for this game is about the war store. Now, I'm going to separate this into two different solutions, because here's the problem that they're running into. Now, I think they thought when they put Minerva in the war store, it's not that bad of an idea, because guys, they honestly, it wasn't that long ago when they put X23 in there, and it wasn't that long ago since they added a character to the arena store. They've actually done both of those two more recently than they have adding a character to the Blitz store or Raid store. And I think they're getting nervous about putting characters in those two stores because they're becoming easy farms, which is not really the player's problem. And they're thinking about the late game players more than they're thinking about the newer players of this game. They're creating a huge problem for newer players just to prevent veteran players from easily maxing out these characters. Once again, they are hurting the newer players. So, War Store, let's talk about it. So first solution I'm going to throw out here is one where stop having a rotating set of characters. It's fine for the raid store really, because there are some solutions around the raid store and you can get tons of raid credits. War credits, not the same. You already find that veteran players have to choose between character shards or gear, especially the 15 pieces that are in here and possibly some of the pieces to get them to gear tier 14. I would just make all the characters available at this point. I don't see a reason not to. It's still a highly valuable resource. The players still have to choose where to use their resources, right? They can use them right away instead of holding on to them. It's not that big of a deal that I think the devs are making it out to be. I don't know why they feel like they need to make this scarcity. The only thing I can really think of is that they really want people to use their cores for refreshes. That's the only reason, which is dumb in my opinion. Like I said, they're trying to stop veteran players from easily maxing out characters and not taking into account what the experience is like for a newer player. They're making it too difficult on newer players. Second solution for the war store is cancel out making every character available, keep it exactly the same, but introduce a war orb that you can open up with war credits that drops character shards just like the raid store. You have zero control of the character shards you get, but you're going to get more of them, which helps out newer players. As always, opening up blitz orbs and raid orbs is a much better value for newer players than it is veteran players. You gotta introduce a catch-up mechanic somewhere for newer players. Other than that, you guys are gonna cause a bigger and bigger problem as you guys add more content in the game and the more variety of characters you need to clear that content. Doom War is by far the most expansive content you guys have ever made to require a ton of different characters to complete. There's nothing else like that in the game. And I know new player retention is something that you guys valuably need. An orb is an easy catch-up solution for newer players. Cheaper value than buying the characters directly, drops more character shards. Yes, you can get some trash, but it is a nice catch-up mechanic. Moving on. And the last wish list improvement I have for them is to add in an auto feature for raids. Now, not just that simple. I think the best solution they have here, instead of letting the game run the simulation on auto, or however they do the sim, is have an achievement-based system. And it works easy like this. If I can go through and 3-star the raid, which means all my characters survive, just like I can do it in any other challenge, you earn 1 point towards an achievement for just that node specifically. And if you can do it 50 times, then that node becomes a one that you can auto sim. Of course, you lose your 10 energy, but none of your characters lose any health, and you just go to the next node. If you guys introduce a raid sim as an achievement, it will go over well with the player base as they push themselves to do the same nodes over and over again to get the 50 wins with all their characters surviving. Then it's up to them to problem solve for nodes they would normally save their ults and stuff for, to now go into those nodes with all their cooldowns reset because they haven't played with those characters yet, and figure out a way to win and get those 50 wins. And it'll take the players just shy of 2 months if they're able to do this, but at the end of the day, with you guys increasing difficulty in raids, no one wants to sit here and manually play 2 sets of raids every single day along with RealTime Arena. Blitz Sim, trust me, did not save them that much of time for them not to complain about it. They're already complaining about the difficulty of the Greek Raid Slider, and people complain about U7 when it first came out. And you hear anybody complain about it anymore? No, because our characters and our roster got better. Our characters and roster will continue to get better over time. New characters come out, power creep happens, and things become easier. But yes, to close this off, an achievement type system for raids so that we can auto nose that we constantly beat every single day with none of our characters going down. And with that said, if you guys enjoy this one, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here and have not done so already, hit that subscribe button. And if you do not want to miss any other videos I do on my channel, don't forget that notification bell. And with all that said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye. Now let me start this off with RealTime Arena. Now I don't have RealTime Arena on my top 5 list just because I believe this is still a work in progress mode and I hate to critique it as they're still trying to work out the bugs. But my concern is with that problem that they're going to create a new problem where someone's just going to be constantly facing the AI all the time. You log into the match, you know you lost, you're not going to stick through that match, you're going to quit it right away to find the next one to get some knockouts. And people are going to be left playing the AI probably more than 50% of the time. Another thing I want to give an honorable mention to is the Blitz Sim. Nothing wrong with the Blitz Sim. Absolutely love it. But I said this even before Blitz Sim came out and I'll say it again because I'm a huge believer in this. And the only people that disagree are the ones that benefit from this change not happening. I have said this a million times in the past. Time invested should be rewarded more than time saved. But quite frankly, if players can log in and do Blitz Sim 6 times when they're used to only be able to do 2 rotations a day, they're going to score higher than what they would have in the past, so they are still benefiting from the Blitz Sim. But once again, you're not punishing those that are willing to invest time into your game.